Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zelda Fisser and today I'm going to show you how I do a half skull on the bottom of my face. So let's get started. I'm going to start with my primer and rub it all over my face, and then I'm going to go in with my foundation, my concealer, my powder and all the usual things to get the foundation set in place. Now this look I'm doing today was inspired by Crueltyfree Makeup Haven on Instagram, also known as Chess. Now I have been following her for a while. I think I found her towards the end of last year because I am cruelty-free in all the makeup products I use, and I've been interested in being cruelty-free from the day I started doing makeup. It just took me a while to actually get to the point that I only have cruelty-free things. And when she popped up in my explore page and I saw, oh okay, she's all about cruelty-free makeup, I was like, why don't I follow this chick? And she has a good balance of normal makeup looks and makeup looks that are more creative, more in the face paint direction of things. And she is definitely one of the sweetest people I've met through Instagram, so I'd recommend you go give her a follow. I'll be listing all her details down below for you. She also has a YouTube channel, given not everything on her channel is English because her first language is not English, but several of her videos are, and you are free to check them out. Anyways, back to what I was actually doing on my face. I decided to start with a white eyeliner and draw out where the details of the skull is gonna go. I thought about using my nude eyeliner pencil, but that didn't show up as much as I thought I would, so I thought since it's going to be white in anyways, I might just as well go in with that. First I drew the two lines on the jaw to kind of shape out the top part of it and then the accent line at the bottom. Then I drew on the nose before getting to the teeth, which is the harder part of it. I got a little bit lazy with drawing the teeth, but I knew I was going to paint over them later in anyways. Now I'm going for a neon glowing skull, and the picture of Chess that I'm basing it off is this one. But I decided to do it in green, so I picked up a light green eyeshadow from my multicolored eyeshadow palette and started blending it onto the white lines I had drawn on my face. I was using a thin yet fluffy brush because I didn't want to disperse it too much, but in hindsight I could have made these lines a lot thicker, then there would have been room for the white to really stand out on top of the green instead of covering the green. But you'll see what I mean when I get to the end. For my teeth I went in with a smaller brush and kind of just focused on the lines, again so I don't get it everywhere. Then I went in with a little bit of yellow over the green to get the shade of green I wanted. To add a bit of shimmer to this look, I picked up the shimmery white highlighter on a normal shader brush and I drew it onto the green where I'm planning on drawing the white lines at the end. In my mind, I was just gonna lighten it up a little bit more to have it go from light to dark and create a glowing effect. I then used a small and fluffy brush and picked up a black eyeshadow from my Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette and started filling in all the gaps between the green. This way, if you contrast the light green to the black background, the light green will look even lighter and even brighter and give you more of a neon effect. And the larger the contrast is between the light color you choose and the dark color you choose, the better it's going to look. So for that reason, I went for the blackest black I could get my hands on. I also used this to clean up the green lines a little bit to kind of shape them out the way I wanted them. Again, I wish I had made them thicker before doing this because I think here's where I made the lines a bit too thin for the final result. But using a normal shader brush worked really well to get in between the small places, especially around the teeth. I was a little unsure how to end it by my nose, so I decided to just blend it up. That way there'd be black around the part that is on my nose and it can just fade away. It kind of brought a little bit more attention to the front of my face and gave the illusion that I didn't really have a nose. So I guess it worked out to some extent. I then picked up some white face paint on the skinniest brush I could find and started applying it in the middle of the green lines I had drawn. And this is going to be the part that's gonna make it look like it's glowing. Unfortunately for me, my brush wasn't thin enough and again my lines were not thick enough, but I think at the end of the day, it was not that bad. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out for a first attempt at something like this. For the teeth, I decided to do white solid triangles instead of having the gaps in the middle, again because my brush ended up not being thin enough. Now for the eyeshadow, I want that to match with the colors of the mask I have going on, so I picked up the fluffy brush I used to apply the black and just applied a little bit more of that in my crease to start right off with a dimension. And then I went back in with a fluffy yet flat brush I used to apply the green lines, and I used that to blend out the black. That way I got to bring the green in and the two colors really meshed together well. Of course, whatever I do at the top, I gotta do at the bottom, so I applied the same color scheme on my lower lash line. And then I went back and forth with the black and the green to blend it out until I was happy with what it looked like. I then went in with this loose shadow called My Mermaid by Catrice, and I used that to apply it on my lid so that I had something bright and shimmery going on my eyes. I also tried applying this over the white lines I had on my cheeks, but it ultimately didn't make much of a difference, so I wouldn't say this step is necessary. Then I'm just adding some final touches to give it a bit more of a cat eye look and making it darker now that I have the final look in place. I also blended out a little bit on the top of my eyelid so it would blend properly with my eyeliner once I apply it. I feel it just gives your eyes a more uplifted look. Onto eyeliner, I prefer using these liquid eyeliners that come with a brush on the end. I don't like using the markers, I feel they dry out too quickly and they pick up the shadow you have on and then it comes out a little bit more grey, which I find too much effort to deal with. I prefer just dipping the brush back in and then drawing the next swipe. But for today's eyeliner, I decided to go for large and wide. And the reason for this is now that I have all these details on my cheeks, it's bringing a lot more attention to my cheeks and it's making my face look wider than usual. And to kind of balance that out so that my eyes don't look too close together because my face then looks wider than usual, I decided to balance it with long eyeliner. That way my eyes look proportionate to the rest of my face. Then of course I had a tight line with a black eyeliner, which is a step I think is a lot more important than most people realize. It's a small thing that makes a big difference in changing the shape of your eyes and making your lashes look fuller. Speaking of lashes, here's the part where you can see that I was listening to music while I was doing this because I was singing along while applying my mascara. Then I decided to use that shimmery mint color as highlighter on my cheeks. Now this isn't something I would usually do because it would look too green, but because there's already so much green going on my face, it did fit in, and then to give it a real nice shine factor, I went in with that shimmery white color. And I also applied it underneath my brows and a little bit in the inner corners of my eyes. And then of course I had to blend it so that it blended into my skin a little bit and didn't look so out of place, which is especially important if it's a unique color like green. Then I popped on some falsies, number 1 because I love them, and number 2, if you have big eyeliner, you need big lashes too. Then I took a minute to look at myself, see how I feel about it, see if I thought I was done or not, before finally moving on to my hair. I let my hair down from the ponytail it was in, but it kind of had kinks in it because of it, so I decided to make 2 small ponytails at the back. That way it hides the kinks in my hair and it adds a little bit more volume. It's a hairstyle that I find pretty cute without it being much effort, and then I decided to throw all my hair forward so it looks like I have a lot of it, and then I tried posing because you have to do that if you're wearing a fancy look like this. And I also wanted to make sure you guys could see it in action and not just from one angle. And then this is the final result. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making this, and then I'll see you again next time.